what it do?
You are now keying in.
Keying in with the one and only Kiki Simone as she lock in with the dopest
Christian hip hop,
gospel and inspirational artists from all over. Bringing you the dopest, exclusive interviews that you get here and only here first. Powered by yours truly.
Live Loud Legacy.
And Visionary Vision.
Qui'N In. What's up? It's your girl Kiki Simone. You are now tuned in to Qui'N In with Kiki Simone, and I am super excited because this particular platform is really all about taking our place in the earth, right? About that kingdom character. And I am super, like, y'all have no, like, let me tell y'all, I'm super excited about this particular episode right here because I think I got one of the GOATs of CHH. I mean, honestly, if you just think about it, probably of rap of all time in my favorite. He in my top 5. So I gotta introduce to y'all. I call him, well, before I even say his name, let me say this. He's a husband. He's a man of God. He is a mentor. He's an artist. He's a friend. He is an entrepreneur. I gotta introduce the one and only Mr. Bizzle. Well, I call him Mr. Bizzle, but y'all know him as Bizzle. Hey, Mr. Bizzle, how you doing?
Hey, what's good?
How you been? How the family?
Hey, I've been all right.
Okay.
Hey, look. I've been all right. That's my TV interview answer. It's been a rough few weeks, if I'm honest.
Yes. My condolences to you and your family.
Thank you.
Definitely, I know losing someone isn't easy at all, especially someone that you're really close to. So I can definitely understand. So we gonna keep you in our prayers, which we already have been. So I want to start off, Mr. Bizzle. I want to ask you, this is something I've wanted to ask you. Do you think you're an introvert or an extrovert?
I'm definitely an introvert. Like, for real.
Really?
Yes.
No. No,
what you mean?
No, you can't be an introvert. You Bizzle. Like, you can't be no introvert.
But that's why God get the glory when you see me out here being bold and loud and all that, because it's not my natural personality to do that and be that. So
that's dope.
Yeah, I'm the quiet, stay to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay,
that's my natural. That's my default position.
Okay, were you quiet when you were a kid?
Yep, always quiet, always shy. I talk around people I know and I feel comfortable with.
Okay, that makes sense. A lot of us do. Most of us do. Now, Mr. Bizzle, y'all gotta just know I'm gonna call him Mr. Bizzle, okay? Because this is just what I call him. Mr. Bizzle, what is growing up? I want to say I think you grew up in California, right? You grew up in California. Yeah. Okay, what's like a childhood memory that you have, like a fond childhood memory growing up?
A fond one?
Yeah, a good one.
Is it got anything to do with God or no?
No, I don't have to.
Okay, so I'll just give you the first one. When you said fond, when I was little, and I bring this up to my mom because it just stands out, and she be tripping out that I remember this. But I remember I found a penny on the floor, and I looked at the year, and it was 1983, which is the year I was born. So I told my mom, like, look, I found a penny with my, you know what I'm saying, all excited. And she played into it, and she was like, oh man, that's good luck. So what do you want to do? We can do anything you want to do. And like, we got to go like to the batting cages, to Chuck E. Cheese, and like one more place.
Wow.
And to this day, I still remember that.
Oh, that sound dope. She really, like you said, she played into that. She just made you seem like that one penny just really, really did it for you. Now, you mentioned your mom, right? And I'm glad that you just mentioned her. What's a value that she gave you growing up that you still keep to this day that you probably, or you probably invest in or instill into your kids. Now, what's something that she really, said or instilled in you that you give to your kids?
I think she invested just the value of working hard and grinding and being dedicated to whatever it is you going at. And so, I kind of had that, and then I had a whole other opposite um, example. And so, for the first half of my life, I kind of followed the opposite example. But that's one thing that I always got to see. Regardless if I followed her footsteps in the beginning, as she was a single mother and she was grinding. She grinded hecka hard, and she still does to this day. But I got to see somebody actually start from the bottom and get to the top, so to speak. So it gave me that example.
That's dope. And so you instill that same thing in your kids. I can say from the outside looking in, just hearing your response, like I'm already seeing your kids just traveling, working hard, and singing and rapping, and got their daddy swag, and all that good stuff. So I can definitely see like how that's something that you have instilled in your kids. Do you think that came natural for them, or is just something that you just taught them that was, hey, daddy said do this, so we got to do this?
I try not to. I don't necessarily steer them in a direction. I try to pick up on what direction God is taking them, right? Because I'm a Christian rapper, so it would be easy for me to say, hey, you're going to be a Christian rapper because I already got all this in place.
Right.
But, me and Shavonna, we more like watch and see, okay, where is God leading, and where can we jump in and start pushing with God instead of trying to control the direction. And so, when one of them starts to show interest, because they both have the gifting of the music. Mm-hmm. Like from a very young age, they can catch on the melodies, create their own melodies. Like a lot of it, you would think I taught them, and I didn't. A lot of it is natural. And so we see that. We don't force it, but if they want to go in that direction, we help push and we help them towards greatness. If it's acting, writing script, whatever it is, we see where the Lord has gifted them and where we don't have to force them, right? I'm not trying to be Joe Jackson out here. You know what I'm saying? Even though he got results, but that's not really our aim.
Right.
And they don't need to make it for us. You know what I'm saying? We're already good. So, well, you want to act, okay, how can I push you to be great at what you already want to do instead of me making you do what I want you to do?
That's real, because I think a lot of times when that happens, when you just push a child into something that you want them to do, when they're basically living the life that you wanted to live or whatever.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's really not the way to do it. And you all are cultivating whatever it is that they're drawn to. I think that's really dope, because a lot of people don't do that. And some parents don't even pay attention to what their kids actually like anyway. Like they just like, go do whatever you want to do. And hey, if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. And that's it. Now you mentioned Shavonna, right? Your wife. I love your wife. I just want to say that, okay? I just want to say how dope of a female she is. And hopefully one day I can get her on here too, because I want to do something with the wives that are actually behind the men who are in the front. And I think it would be a dope conversation to have with that. So with that stated, okay, so I know it's a lot of qualities that you love about your wife. Matter of fact, I was just listening to Hold Me Down before this interview, because that's like my favorite Bizzle song. I know you got 50 million songs out there, but Hold Me Down is my favorite. I don't know why. I don't know why. But anywho, what is a characteristic that you admire most about her? But you can only pick one, though. You can only pick one. I know it's a lot of them.
Oh man, that's hard to narrow down to one. I'm gonna try to pop three off real quick, but I mean, I would say that, right? You said your favorite song is "Hold Me Down." Is the way that she holds me down and always has. From the beginning, like when we was in high school, I remember I paid $600 to record my first demo,
What?
and yeah, and she paid 300, and my mom paid 300. And she was
Wow.
working just, working, I think, at Papacito's, a little restaurant. She was a hostess, and you know what I'm saying? But she believed in me the entire time. There was never a time where I felt like, with everybody else who was trying to tell me, all right, you're going to have to start, you know, thinking about different career paths. Like, she never spoke a doubtful word. She always believed in me the entire time, right? And it's hard because the cliche, you know, girlfriend of the dude who with the mixtapes, you know what I'm saying? Like that was her. While I'm sitting in the room
Mm-hmm.
and with a sock on the microphone, recording my mixtapes on the computer. You know what I'm saying? Like
Wow.
she was with me through it all. She held me down. She encouraged me. She helped me however and wherever she could. And so the way she holds me down is like, and she's done it for over half my life. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? So, man, that's one of the greatest qualities.
That's so dope. I mean, just hearing that you have someone that has supported you all this time, never doubt, never, gave you an ultimatum and say, hey, go get a job and go do this, go do that. Like, she supported your career. And I think that that's very admirable as well. One of the things that I really love about your wife is that even though she's behind you, supporting you, I still kind of look at it as she's beside you, supporting you as well.
Hmm.
And she has always maintained the same charisma, poise, like just eloquence, whatever she does. It's just a thing that's glowing on her that's just so awesome. So I just absolutely love her. So I was fortunate
Me
enough to be
too.
able to talk. You too. Well, yeah, I know you love her more. So, but it's all good though. Now I want to kind of transition just a little bit, talking about the entrepreneurship. You have GOM, which y'all can see. I
Hmm.
know y'all see it. God over money. Okay. Now, Mr. Bizzle, when did GOM start? Like, when did you officially make GOM?
Uh, I think I started moving with it in like 2011, but on paper, I don't think it was official to 2012.
Okay. So that's a long time. That's what? That's like 11 years, somewhere around there. 10,
Yeah,
11
something like
years,
that.
something like that. Now that's dope. Like, to me, like, that's just dope. One, to be official and have all your stuff together. That's one thing that I really do admire about you and Siobhan. And I wanted to ask you, as an entrepreneur starting your own business, what's been the most challenging part about actually starting your business? Or, especially with it being Christian, and a lot of times people don't support, especially in the beginning. And like, what's been the most challenging for you?
All right. So starting it or running it?
Let's go.
Like, are
Let's
you
go with
talking about
running
that first stage,
it.
or are you talking about as of lately in the last 5 years? Like, when are we talking?
Yeah, let's say last 5 years. Like, what's been the most challenging part about just being an entrepreneur?
Um, I would say along the lines. I mean, along the way, I feel like I began carrying pressure that ain't really mine to carry or hold.
Right.
Right. And so
Mhm.
when I first started, there were no expectations. I didn't expect to drop my first album and hit the Billboard charts. Like, I didn't expect people to go download my mixtape like they was. I didn't expect it was just me. I'm serving God. I'm trying to be in His will, and I'm doing whatever, and He's just blessing it. And I'm just like, wow, right? And then as time passes, you start to gain experience, and then you start to battle with letting your experience drive, right? Okay, I'm about to drop another album. Well, when I drop albums, I do A, B, C. This is how we do it. It becomes mechanical. And then there's a struggle to be like, nah, you know what? Lord, when do you want me to drop the album? What should the album be called? Like, to still try to stay in that place that you was from the beginning.
Right.
And then there's so many expectations now that wasn't there at first. So, you know, it's so time consuming and then mind consuming at the same time. So when I'm not working, my wheels are always turning, right?
Right.
And then you gotta mess with doubting yourself, second guessing yourself, worry, right? Can I do it again? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
are they gonna feel it? Are they gonna ride with all of this stuff that became a worry or you know became an issue as of halfway through, I would say,
Right.
to where it led to breakdowns and stuff like that, burnouts, like for real. And so I would say that would probably be the most challenging, because so right now I'm back in a place where I'm trying to separate business from personal. Right. I'm trying to separate Bizzle from Mark Felder because as far as I know, it's always been the same, right? I've built this on truth and being real, and there is no difference between Bizzle and Mark in my eyes because I'm gonna keep it 100 off record, on record. You're gonna get the same version of me every time, but there's, you know, the kid's daddy ain't Bizzle.
Right.
Savannah's husband ain't Bizzle. And so I need to be able to try to jump out of that and just fully be Mark for them. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like that balance has kind of been a struggle in being an entrepreneur.
Oh, that is so good because I believe that's probably a struggle for a lot of people, no matter what their platform is, you know, and I know for you, definitely, you are very, like you said, you real, you transparent in your music. And sometimes I almost kind of feel like I know exactly who you are because you have become so transparent in the music that it makes somebody feel as if they know you. And some of the songs that you've put out really have exemplified some of those pressures and pains and things like that of people, you know, just doing whatever it is that they do, because I guess it's just always a hater somewhere. But at the end of the day, like, that's a real thing because that is a lot of pressure to try to meet the expectations of people, and we can easily get in ourselves, you know, when we see the success and we see, oh, well, dang, like, this did real good. Let me see if I could do it again. But it may not be the direction that God wants you to go, you know? So sometimes we do have to be mindful of, you know, that. I think that's really dope, honestly, to hear you say that. And maybe it can help other people, you know, Christian rappers, singers, whatever, that really are thinking about like, okay, let me make sure that I keep the main thing, but still at the same time, still use the wisdom that God has given me to be this entrepreneur and be who He's called me to be in the earth that way. I think that's really dope. Now, I got a game for you, Mr. Bizzle. I'm super excited. This game is called GOMA. That's what the game is called, is GOMA. It stands for GOM assessment.
Here we go.
Okay, so the purpose of this game is for you to name that album. Okay, it's all GOM. Now I'm going to give you the name of a song, and you're going to tell me the name that the album was on. So let me see if you can remember. Because I know, because I saw you say on social media one time, somebody asked if they could actually choose your playlist whenever you come and you was like, nah, bro, I ain't gonna do that because I don't know if I'm gonna know the words.
Bruh, every time I'm on stage, people be like, perform this song, and it's always something I ain't heard in a long time. I forgot how to start. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't leave y'all in control like that.
Okay, let's see. Now you got the control, but we gonna see how well you know your own music and what album it was on.
Song titles though.
Okay.
Not the lyrics, but the song titles.
Okay, let's see. Okay, Still Riding.
That's on Well Wishes.
Okay, you got it. Okay. What about Get Low?
Best of Both Worlds.
All right. Y'all, he know his music. He know where his songs at. Okay. My favorite, Hold Me Down.
The Messenger 4.
You got it. Okay. Way Up, the remix.
Ooh, the remix. Was that on Light Work too?
You got, oh my gosh, Sean, he got it.
Let's get it.
Okay, No Hate.
Surrender.
Yup. Okay, what about Forgive Me?
Oh, that's Tough Love and Parables.
Yes. King.
That's Crowns and Crosses.
Okay, New Skies.
That's Soul Therapy.
Okay, I got one more for you. Okay, Lit.
That's Light Work. Original one.
Yes. Okay.
Let's give it
up. Yes.
Man, look, now if you told me to rap something off of it, you got me. I'd have been stuck.
Okay. Now I got this one other question. Okay, so how many projects has the song The Gospel been on?
So let's see, because I put the gospel on Light Work. The first Light Work, the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which that's probably the song it took me the longest to write. Because that's one of them songs where I was kind of scared to write it because I was scared I wouldn't do it justice.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I had to write it. So it took me mad long. It made it on to Light Work.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was Light Work 2.
Mm-hmm.
If we count the Light Work playlist where it's both of them combined,
yep.
Then it's The Messenger 4, Soul Therapy, and then it's about to be on Light Work 3 as well.
Right.
I think that's the best way to make sure the gospel is fully on every album. So it's gonna be on every album I drop.
Yes. I was just like, okay, let me see if you know what? I ain't got him, y'all. I have not got Mr. Bizzle yet. No. Okay. Okay, now it's a lot that you talk about. I'm gonna kind of go back to your music a little bit. When we're talking about mental, emotional issues, and like I said earlier, you reflect a lot in your music. When did you come to a point where you were saying, hey, I need to talk about this and I need to deal with this and I need to deal with it now and like actually put it out? So what I mean by that is, when did you decide to like really become transparent about what you were really dealing with, you know, with any type of emotional or mental things like we've heard in some of your music before?
I honestly, I feel like I've kind of been that way out the gate. Okay. But I was saving more of me for the albums and the mixtapes. Okay. But even on the mixtapes, it was me just, you know, being transparent and how rough around the edges I am. And I was still dropping records like Feel My Pain, you know what I'm saying? And dealing with what the things people are saying about me, how it's affecting me, how it's making me feel about myself, like different stuff like that. So, and then you got, you know, my confessions, you know, talking about struggling with pornography. Then you got all of that stuff. To me is just about the season I'm in.
Okay.
Right. So there wasn't I'm going to start being transparent. It was more like, I have to write, like I pray before I write every single time. right? I pray before I write. I
Mm-hmm.
pray before I record, and then before I release. And wherever the Lord has me, I feel like I need to write from that place, so that I don't become a facade or a picture of what I want people to see. And so if I'm down, I have to write from that down place. If
Okay.
I'm struggling, I have to write from the struggle. Or else it sounds like I'm living in victory all the time when, and I'm skipping over my heart, the struggles
Right.
that
Right.
are real. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I don't even think that's how you represent Christ, right? You have Paul say, the good that I want to do, I don't do, and the evil that I hate doing, I still do. Like
Yep.
that's a picture of the struggle. The Bible doesn't hide. The Bible could easily, the Lord could have chose to cut out David and Bathsheba's whole little situation, right? Could have
Right.
easily cut out all of these and made everybody look so perfect, but then we would feel more unworthy and like we ain't got a chance
That's so true.
if those parts were taken out. And so if I take it out, then I don't want you to feel the same way. I don't want to be on no pedestal. So I've always tried to, if I always talk about Shavana, right? I
Right.
always talk
Right.
about my wife. Always got those songs, but you know, I was in a rough patch. We were in a rough patch, and I started seeing people like, or I've always seen people like, oh, relationship goals, marriage goals. So then I'll write a song like, work it out. We can work it out. And
Right.
then I have to write about the spots the things that you probably going through that make you feel like you don't got what I got
Right.
because I don't show it. You feel me? I'm only showing these happy things.
Yep.
And so, when I'm struggling with insecurity, struggling as a parent, struggling with lust, struggling with whatever, it's all a part of my walk in the Christian walk for
Right.
whoever
Right.
it might be. And I never want a person to look at me and say, right, our job is to invite people into the kingdom. I don't want them to look at me and be like, he's the reason why I feel like I can't come to Christ because I can't be like that guy.
That
Like,
part.
no, you probably already like me, bro. So come on. And we're going to try to get it right together. You feel me?
That's right. That's so dope. That's so dope. I literally, just listening to you say that, I think that's what we need more in the kingdom. We definitely need more of that in the kingdom. And I am like literally just thinking about, oh, you know what? There's people that actually really needed to hear what you just said because they think that, hey, I'm not good enough to be a Christian. I'm not good enough to be a believer of Jesus Christ. I'm not good enough to, walk the title or have the title or of like I'm an ambassador for Christ. And I think the more transparent we are, which I love how you say, I do truth music. The more transparent you are allows people to see that we are flawed, but we're progressing in our flawedness. And we may not see everything that we're flawed with all at one time. God will reveal stuff sometimes in layers and just have us to deal
Right.
with one thing at a time. But I definitely think that that's something what you just said is so needed for people to hear. Hopefully people will, even those who are believers will say, you know what, Bizzle came on and he was just like, I struggle with lust, I struggle with insecurity, I struggle with, this, that, and the other. And we literally just had D-Mob on and he talked about, his struggle with porn. So like literally what we want to do is for people to see that we are human. It's not that we glorify anything. It's just that we are glorifying God in our process to get through it. So I think that
Indeed.
that's really good. That's really good.
It's in our weakness that his strength is made perfect. So
Amen.
we gotta, if we try to act like we're lifting all the weight, we try to act like we doing it all ourselves, all we doing is trying to take away from his glory. So it's in showing our weakness that we show his strength.
Amen.
And that's not something, I'm trying to hide.
Yes. I think Jonathan McReynolds, he had a song, well, on his new project, he got that song called Overrated, which is my favorite song on the project.
Mine too.
Oh, that's yours too. Yes,
Yeah,
when he says strong is overrated, like it really
it
is.
is.
We are not meant to take on that weight. We are not meant to carry the burden that Jesus already died for. So with that
Right.
stated, I'm gonna do a little hard transition. We almost about to be over. I know that you like R&B. I know you and your wife like R&B. I'm a R&B, like, if I had to pick, like, R&B and CHH is like right there next to each other. And but I grew up on R&B. What do you think? Which era do you think had the best R&B? 80s,
You
90s,
can't ask me that. I'm gonna
2000?
say the '90s. '90s. I'm a '90s
Oh,
R&B head all
okay.
day.
That's mine too. The 90s is my favorite. Yes, I just love it. And I love the fact that, we can be real and say that, it's still some good music out there. That now it's some trash out there too. And it's some stuff that we weren't supposed to be singing that we were singing, if we just be
Right.
real honest about it.
Right.
But there are some good R&B songs that are out there, which I know you got a little bit of you got a little bit of that too, Mr. Bizzle. That song you put out for your wife, for the married folks. I'm just like, oh yes, okay. Well, and you got a tune too. You got a little tune too. I wish I could sing like you, but I can't.
No,
It's just not
I
happening.
wish I could sing. Look, the version y'all getting to me when I sing is the humble version, and I write stuff in the pocket of what I can do. Because if I could sing, boy,
It's
I don't know
over.
how much rapping y'all hear. I'll be out here going crazy.
It'll be over. Now, Mr. Bills, before we get ready to go, I just want to give you the opportunity, and I also want to share with our listeners, you got a new project, Lightweight 3, that's coming out on 4/21 of this year, 2023. Yeah, I had to think about that. But those who actually get the GOM app, they can actually listen to it beforehand. And
Yeah.
so I want to promote the GOM app. I want people to go out there and, of course, support it on all the platforms, streaming, run it up. But I just want you to share with us, is there anything particular that's special about this album that you really did like?
Yeah, so Lightwork 3. Well, first of all, yes, get the GOM app. Because you never know when we might be led to say something to get our Instagrams and Facebooks and stuff like that canceled and all that. So we're trying to get everybody over to our own platform so we can continue to speak freely and say whatever God wants us to say without violating community guidelines that are changing every day. So get that. And then Lightwork 3, what makes it special is, Soul Therapy is an album that it took so long to come out because I was almost afraid to put it out because it was different. I try to put out balanced projects. So you're going to hear up songs, down songs, fun songs, deep songs, fast tempo, slow tempo. Like I try to keep everything balanced. With this, because of the season I was in, it was just everything was kind of dark and deep and slow and so I knew, and a lot of them they didn't have the same replay value, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was forced to make a decision. And do I put out this joint that sounds so slow and deep the whole way through, where I don't think people are gonna play it at the gym, play it when they homies is in the car, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The streams is gonna be low. But I'm like, I think this is what people need in this time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I prayed about it like, all right, Lord, if this is what you want me to drop, if this is what people need, then this is what I'm gonna drop, right? And so I wrote from a very, very, very low place. Like from the deepest of my depression. Um, and I did that because I also needed people to see, right? They see me as so bold, and so I'm a warrior, right? I'm a soldier, and I'm still that. But I needed to let people see me as a wounded soldier as well, as a warrior in a weak season or weak moments. You need to be able to see that as well, right?
Right.
And so now, I ain't gonna lie. Prior to my cousin passing a couple weeks ago, I was doing better, and I was coming up out of that place. My cousin passing really just spiraled me back into the deepest. You know what I'm saying? So that's honestly where I'm at right now. I'm kind of trying to climb up out of it. But this album is the climb out of the soul therapy season.
Okay.
Right. So you hear me worshiping, praising, celebrating. Right. This is more of that triumph, that coming up out of the valley and making it back up towards the mountaintop type trajectory. And so I feel like this kind of balances out the last project.
Wow. Well, one, we thank you for your transparency in the music, and thank you for sharing that as well. I really hope those that are listening and watching that y'all actually take the opportunity to, number one, go get that app. Go get that GOM app. And then two, to listen to the project when it comes out, whether it's on the app or whether you stream it or purchase it on any of the platforms. But Mr. Bizzle, I'm so appreciative of you so very much. You have no idea, words can't explain how much I appreciate just your time, and for you to, take your time out to be here on this. Definitely, I'm so grateful and thankful to God for this time of sharing. So I want everybody to make sure that you go out, because this Tuesday, the project is coming out. So if you ain't got the app already, you still got time to go get the app. But
this Friday,
go get the project. Okay. 4/21 at midnight is dropping. Make sure you go get it. And also make sure that you tune in to another Qui'N In, so that we can make sure that we are taking our place in the earth and building that kingdom character and being that ambassador that God has called us to be. So until next time, I holla.
Appreciate you, sis.